welcome to my Paradox Let's Play. Ultimately, my goal is to do a Tribes to Trek playthrough, starting with the early start in Crusader Kings and working my way through the franchise through Europa Universalis 4, Victoria 2, Hearts of Iron 4 if importing will work, and ultimately going on to Stellaris, although that is a long-term goal. Given the length of Paradox games, it's going to be a very long way to go. I'm starting as Dubhlinn, one of the independent Irish tribes from the start. I have tribal government, and I'm just taking a look at my leader here at the start. I've got some fairly decent traits. Diligent, kind, honest, temperate, and the second level martial education, which is pretty good all around. Taking a look at my heir, he's not quite as good. Envious, humble, honest, zealous, and a third level intriguer, which is not bad. Just going to take a look at my council and shuffle some people around. I do like with the Conclave DLC that the council mechanics are quite good. But one thing is, because of the penalty for kicking people off the council, it's better to use the new change council positions option, which does take some time if you're trying to figure out optimal council positions for everyone. You have to take some time to kind of move people to the right spaces. So I'm making my bishop the court chaplain. He's better at that. My spy master is pretty good. My steward right now is pretty poor. But I do have a potential appointee. My current spy master would make a decent steward. So I'm going to move him into that position. And probably replace the chancellor, because he is right now a nobody, and I have a much better nobody to replace him with. So I'm going to move that chancellor, trade him with the spy master, and leave my son as the marshal. And then I can start appointing my council members. Just do study tech from the Byzantines. In the early game, they usually have the most technology. Just use build legend and build zeal for the extra prestige and piety. And one of my early goals is going to be to create my duchy so that I don't split up my realm on inheritance. So it looks like I just need Sildara, the adjacent county. So I'll start fabricating claims there. And train troops in my capital. I don't anticipate going to war, but if it happens, it's good to have trained troops already active. There's not much else to move your marshal to in peacetime. So I'm just going to give some of my honorary titles. Those can help to improve the opinion of my council members. It's always good to have your council members like you. don't have many commander slots, so I'm just going to leave it as it is for now. Alrighty. So looking at my inheritance, I realized that the neighboring council, he's actually my dynasty member, and I am his heir, which is quite interesting indeed. It's very tempting to try to see him dead so I can inherit that plot without a war. In the meantime, I'll think about that. In the meantime, I'll find suitable wives for myself and my heir. So there's some with decent stats. Oh, I don't really want the prestige hit. Oh, that's very nice. Bonus to prestige for her. And she had decent enough stats. My heir. She's not very good. Oh, and I'm reading this backwards. This is listing her prestige gain instead of my heirs. So I'll definitely not be doing that, because he would lose a great deal. And in the early game with the tribal government type, that prestige is extremely important. You use it to build tribal holdings. So I'm losing 100 of it for very little gain is quite painful. So I think I'll take the prestige neutral marriage with a slightly less impressive wife. Alright. Close those. And I get to pick an ambition. And I think I will pick the see the realm prosper ambition. If I can stay at peace for 5 years, I can improve my capital's prosperity rating, which is quite useful indeed. And I can pick a focus. Rulership is always good, but it does tend to leave you stressed. I do like having high stewardship, but I think in the meantime, theology is sort of tempting. It increases your religious people's view of you, although my bishop already likes me more than the Pope. So I might leave that. Business focus is also quite good, especially in the early game. It generates a great deal of wealth. Even though I don't have any city vassals, I'm going to take that one. So I'm quite hurting for prestige, but gold is even more limited. So I think I'm going to take the gold boost at the royal marriage. And I'm going to desperately build up my village to increase my gold earnings in the future. I think I am going to start this plot to kill my neighboring count here. I'm pretty sure the chance of discovery of a plot that has no backers is 0. I would like to get that marshal involved. He's not all that far from allowing it, but he has a very impressive amount of plot power. Alright, gonna resume here. Oh my. So, I didn't even have to plot to kill him. My neighboring count contracted pneumonia and died of his own accord. So this is very much to my advantage, inheriting this county. And along with the county, of course, I also inherit his court, which gives me quite a few more potential council members. And it means once I reach my gold target of just under 200 gold, I can create the duchy. So, meantime, let me shuffle councilors again. That wasn't very long ago at all that I did this initially. I do have some better marshal candidates, including the bishop in the new county. I do very much like the mechanics in Conclave that were added for the council and for powerful vassals wanting seats on the council. I thought that was a very good change. I really like the Conclave DLC. It does mean I have to manage my current bishop has a higher marshal. So, again, it does lead to kind of micromanaging a bit the council positions. So I'll have to move him into the marshal slot. And his marshal. And my son does not make a very good court chaplain, but the bishop in Stellaris certainly does. And I might have some more minor titles to give out. Not particularly. Oh well. So I just need to reach that goal of 200 gold. Normally I'd be immediately building my market village, but I think I'm going to save my gold for now. Try to create that duchy before I start getting more heirs and fracturing the realm. So I'm going to place my new counselors back. There's not much to do with a court chaplain when you have a unified religious realm. So I'm just going to build zeal with him. I could improve religious relations, but I already have fairly good opinions by most of my, or by both of my church vassals, so I'll leave that. I don't really intend to expand very quickly in the early part before I've consolidated my duchy, but there's not much else to do with the Chancellor, so I'll set him to fabricate claims, and I can actually refuse the claim for a small piety bump, which is nice. Okay. So, my market village is building here, and I'm going to resume and try... Oh! There's a nice event from the stewardship focus. I get to mint the coins. Now, I'm not sure how much in this game I'm going to focus on role-playing the leaders. Sometimes I try to look at their traits and do things that I think that their character would do. But there's also a metagame element, and it's hard to balance sometimes. How much do I want to play this character, and how much do I want to do well at the game? In this one, I certainly don't have the extra gold to mint the coins for glory, but that debase mints option just gives an enormous amount of gold for me right now. So I'm going to do it, and greedy is one of the 7 sins, but it's actually not a bad one to have, because it does increase tax modifier, which is very useful. I have an arranged marriage option. Ah, this is the widow of the count who's just died. Wow, she has some very impressive stats indeed. She is lowborn, but that is an impressive stat line. Now, because she's not related to me, this marriage to the King of Pictland it wouldn't give me an alliance. I'm not sure there's any advantage to me in taking it. And she is quite impressive. Although she is chaste, she won't generate many heirs. But if I lose my wife or my heir's wife, she is quite a high stat candidate. So I'm fairly close to my target now. That's only going to be a couple years at my current rate. And my bishops are both paying taxes to me, which is quite nice. And I do have... I can choose the successors, so I should do that. Being the chosen successor gives them quite a large bonus once your chosen successor earns the title. So normally I would build the next level of market village immediately, but I do really want to save up for creating that duchy. I'm going to wrap up the first section here, so I'll see you in the next episode.